investing in insight-driven Web3 founders.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I think we're just waiting for the slides. We have a small crowd today, so I think we'll just make it very conversational. I'll wait for, is the slides on? Actually, I'll just do that, since like we don't have a lot of people, maybe I can ask who's in the crowd. Where are you guys from? Like what company? Phil Liquid. Both of you guys. What is Phil Liquid again about? Okay, so it's a DeFi company. Great, thanks for sharing. How about you guys? Startup Accelerator. Which one? AI startups. Where are you guys based? Where are you guys based? Poland. Okay. Are you just here for the conference? Oh, welcome to the Philippines. Shall we wait for the slides first, or? Okay. How about you, sir? Solban? What stage are you guys in? Are you like early stage, or like how Solbond is a Web3 company? Is it? How old are you guys? Like about 3 years. Okay, great. Okay, I think we can get started. Okay. All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Kristoffer Briones. I'm the managing director of Dojo Philippines. Today I'm gonna share something you probably guys already know, since you're all in this space. But I'm gonna share a little bit about an insight why we believe Web3 is the future, and investing and innovating in Web3 is key. So before I get started, who here has used ChatGPT? Raise your hand. Probably everyone. So I'm sharing one of my favorite memes in ChatGPT. So the first one is like how it always gets full. I don't know if you've ever used it, where it gets really traffic, you can't use it anymore. And then the second one is really the joy of like ChatGPT helping you in your job, and then realizing very quickly that it could actually take over a lot of parts of your job, right? So it's quite funny. Now, the reason I share this meme is not just because it's interesting that culture is captured in memes, but really what it's trying to show you is the disruptive impact of emergent technologies. AI is one of the, probably like a massive disruptor, but one of the few emergent technologies out there. Blockchain is, I guess, because it's an AI blockchain conference, it's also one of the emergent technologies that we are paying attention to. Now if you really think about it, like what is the convergence between AI and blockchain? Can anybody say, what do you think is the main? How about you, sir? What do you think is the main convergence of AI and blockchain? Trust. So like there needs to be trust in the protocols for both. Anyone else? AI and blockchain? You, ma'am, what do you think is the convergence of AI and blockchain? Okay, let me share one thing. The convergence of AI and blockchain leads to a lot of benefits, right? Like if you put the AI on the blockchain, there's a lot more secure. It can, protect like, privacy, for example. And then the other way around, there's also like impact of blockchain to AI. So both have a lot of benefits to each other. But so this is also the other way around, right? Blockchain to AI, AI to blockchain. You have more optimized technology use, efficiency, all of this. Now, what's the point of sharing this? Because all of these technologies, for them to converge, they both need data, right? So blockchain needs data, because blockchain is just a list, it's a ledger where data gets stored in a secure way, in a decentralized way. AI needs to harness the data so it can gather that and then provide insights. So, but what does data provide actually? Why do we need data? Very simple. Data leads to insights. And then insights lead to action. So the real question is, where does relevant data come from? People think that, okay, let's just set up all of these algorithms and blockchain nodes, and then data just magically become useful. No, actually, data usually comes from people like you, right? All of us, right? So if you're interfacing with something, then we get to provide some data that becomes insight. But this is where we realize that the technology alone is not going to be useful enough to be able to change anything. You need people to build with the machines, with the technology, so that they can impact the people and then can get data from people and then continue the loop where it helps people, right? So this is where startups come in. Because startups go through, so just sharing a little bit of a learning cycle that we go through in my company. So we invest in Web3 startups, specifically idea stage or early stage companies. And then what we've learned in investing in AI or blockchain startups specifically is that the number one thing that they do first as startups is to empathize, right? They need to understand, is there a problem worth solving with this technology? So you really need to understand, for you to make the data useful and then insightful, you actually need to interface with people still, right? So the people who are building the technology are people. The technology is built for the people. So this is why insight is very, very important. So if you go through these cycles, if you empathize with people, you get to define the problem, you get to ideate on how to solve that problem, and then that's when you really build something that's really relevant. So that's where relevant data come from. We've learned this by incubating in over 60 companies now to date. We've already, in the last 3 years, we've already made a return on most of our investments. So my message is this, right? You guys are in some DeFi companies, some like Web3 companies. You are the future because without these companies, and sure, we all know that most of these companies are going to die. In fact, more than 97% of early stage startups just end up going like bankrupt or just stopping the business altogether. But the convergence of AI and blockchain, if we believe that AI is the future, ChatGPT has demonstrated that, and blockchain is the future. Now, the thing with blockchain is it hasn't quite reached the same level of adoption of AI that has kind of like benefited from generative AI lately because it's easily demonstrable. But we also need blockchain to be useful enough like ChatGPT to the point that we all know ChatGPT is AI, but we don't care that it's AI. We just care that it works. So can we find companies that are based on empathizing with people and serving people that just works? That you don't really need a fancy technology, because the thing with technology, it can be so fancy, but if no one is using it, then there's no point in investing so much money in it. And I'm saying this as an investor, right? We're looking for companies that are really solving a problem. You know, not the kind of like scheme we're in, whoever's first make the most money and then whoever's last, they can make the least money, right? We want companies that are really solving a genuine problem in the market. And that's only possible if the data is not just data, but insight-driven founders, right? Startups like you who's working with people like who have their real problems, and if you can capture that in data and then put in the blockchain so that there's more data integrity and security, and then AI on top of that, then that's really the convergence that we need, right? So I'm gonna stop here because it's a short keynote. But one of my favorite quotes is that the best way to predict the future is for you to create it. If we want to get the best of AI and blockchain as it converges for the future, then there's no point in predicting whether will people really adopt it or not. There's no point to speculate. The best way is just build it, but build it in a relevant way by interfacing with the people. So I'm Kristoffer Briones, and let's build an insight-driven, relevant Web3 founders of the future. Thank you very much, everyone.